One thing that I've definitely gotten a lot better at, and I'm not exactly sure what's like clicked, but it's just more of like the the setup
Sure.
where I feel a lot more confident in what my team's trying to accomplish as far as like setting up where everybody's at. And I think I just put a big emphasis on that before engaging, kind of like turning around, seeing who's with me, then trying to
Mm.
engage after that. And I mean, for the most part, I would say it like I probably played a maximum of 7 hours the last couple of weeks, but I significantly won a lot of my games. So, I mean, I was at Plat 5, I'm at Plat 2 now.
Yeah, it seems like a big jump,
And
actually. Nice. Indeed.
and honestly, like just games alone just seem a lot easier this way.
Right, right. So it's
And
easy because of the scouting. Sorry to interrupt you. Just
yeah,
as
I
it.
would say
Mm-hmm.
so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just because like I said, it really feels more like I'm able to accomplish what I want to accomplish. And just kind of having that patience allows for my team. I'm definitely noticing a lot more like, let's say we'll get a pick, and rather than like seeing someone who might be out of position, just kind of like taking that 2 seconds to, or 1 second even, just to kind of like relax, see where I'm at, see who's with me,
Right,
and then commit
right.
to something rather than like, oh yeah, yeah, that guy's low and he's out of position. Go, 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 go. You know,
Right, right.
it's definitely paid a lot more than just kind of like playing by feel. But, I mean, these are hard habits to break too, though. And I think
Of
that's what
course.
differentiates people, just kind of like we want that serotonin rush of like killing someone. So
Exactly.
oh yeah, we can do it. We can do it. And we don't even think twice. We just do it.
Mm.
Cause I mean, we don't see the consequences. There aren't as dire,
Right.
you know, okay, so we lost the game. Maybe I got demeched or maybe I died. Did anything really happen? No, you know. So,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I think it's just really beneficial on the learn term. Once you start doing that more and more, you kind of take your time, being more patient, and instead of being kind of too fast about your decisions, maybe trying to slow down whatever you do. And later, you can actually build up the speed. Yeah, you can just start being slow and
right.
good, always precise. Yeah, it's like with any other sport, they also always tell you. Like when I've been going to the gym first, they always told me, you gotta lift light weight first, and then you gotta do it precise and technical. I
Yep.
mean, just in a good way.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the same thing about this game.
Oh,
It seems like.
absolutely.
Right.
But unfortunately, it still is hard not to want to chase that rush, like, yeah, I did it. I got
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
guy. It's tough. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not proficient at it. I still have to fight it and just trying to understand it more, I think is because and I don't know, maybe it was late season and that's why games seemed easy. But when I started, and I'm not a big fan of releasing heroes on launch. I'll say that much because
Mm, right.
I got pulled in with a people fighting over Venture,
Right.
and nobody really knew how to play her quite the way I feel like you should. And it was just like, okay, why is my Venture like drilling into their backline? He's low health. Okay, no, he's dead. So it's just been one of those things where, yeah, it's good and then it's bad, and the only thing I can control is myself. So
Yeah. Yeah. Mostly it's that, and of course there are times when you can kind of communicate with your team, maybe say something about the strategy, but more like 99% of your performance is just about what do you do. Yeah, 99% of your value, I mean.
right,
Yeah. So it's that, yeah. And well, so you've been applying scouting. You saying you do it much better. That's good to hear. Is there anything else what you look to apply? What about? I think there've been an offline review about your bubble management timing. What about that?
When, like I said in my text, I definitely been playing a lot more Diva just because I feel
Mhm.
like in most cases,
Oh, I see.
like let's say Gibraltar or something along those lines, uh, Diva's going to offer a lot more playability than playing Azaria, I feel
I
like.
see. I see. Yeah, yeah. That's who.
So I think I've been maining Diva a lot more. Just because if I try to do, Havana with Zarya, you're not really going to have a lot of value from her with the long sight lines. And so like I said, I've been playing a lot of Diva. However, there are certain situations where, let's say, I do play into a Zarya and I'm Diva on like uh Lijiang. I do switch to a Zarya if I need to, just to kind of counter my counter, I guess you can say.
Hmm. 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 Okay. Okay.
Um, yeah,
Do you want to go over this topic actually a little bit more in depth? Just kind of talking about what your mentality should be when you should go certain hero. I think we wanted to do that in our first session anyway, so might be a good thing to take a look at actually, yeah, because your pool so far, I mean, your hero pool is what? It's just Diva and Zarya, right? So,
yeah.
mm,
I mean, I can play. I feel confident in playing like a monkey, or if I have to play a Sigma, I feel pretty confident in that. I'm not going to sit there and waste my CDs
right,
on not knowing how to apply them or where to apply them. It's
right.
just it's not my first choice, I guess you could say.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
I picked up Zarya just with the fact that it is Diva's counter. So
Hmm.
if they're countering me, I'm gonna be able to either mirror them or really do something along the lines where if I'm playing, I don't know. I mean, I always like Diva just because number one, she's very tanky. She can jump. I
Right.
mean,
Hmm.
with her rocket packs, she can peel fantastic with her DM, and it's I don't know, it's just one of those things where I've always liked Diva and Overwatch One. That's what I played.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, I mean, as far as like hero wise, there are better heroes, I guess, for meta, but I don't think that meta really applies to
Not
my
not really,
rank.
not as much, right?
No.
Not really. And also a quick word about counters. Well, of course, there are ways. Let's put it this way: when you going for certain 1v1, right? You definitely
Mhm.
might have an advantage when you play one certain hero versus another. However, I really encourage most of the players try to watch the big picture, so you exactly know the
Mhm.
direction with what are you going, and then it becomes easier for you to understand what you play, because there might be situations where, well, some players could say, yeah, just on the paper, Diva, or maybe like, let's say, Zarya doing really good versus the Diva just when they're face to face, yeah. But there are a lot of situations when
Right.
Diva can avoid the Zarya, so it's kind of just depends on mainly first the map, and second actually depends on your comp too. I actually think might be a good
Yeah.
topic to discuss,
Yep.
just maybe
Yep. If
15.
you want
Hmm.
to,
Yeah.
we could jump into. I played Saravasa
Yeah.
about 30
Hmm.
minutes ago, and it was exactly. I'm not going to be the guy that like immediately when we hit our first fight, um, like on my teams, our
Right.
brig starts going, "Oh, it's Zarya. You got to swap. You got to swap."
Yeah, they always say.
And it's like, okay, you're playing brig into a Genji Zarya, and what are you trying to accomplish? And then all of a sudden, it was Reaper. Their comp was Reaper, Zarya, Alari, Fury, and Genji. And our brig was frontlining. And I'm like, what's going on here?
Mm,
And
I see.
immediately after like 2 or 3 deaths, they're like, you need to switch right now. You need to switch right now." And I I just, "Okay, yep. Mhm."
Yeah, yeah, okay,
And there
okay.
wasn't a lot of team cohesion. And then, by the end of the match, everyone's flaming me, and I'm just I don't say anything. I'm just, "Yep, mhm, mhm."
Mm, yeah, well,
But
there's always
right.
somebody to blame, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I think at the end of the match, I think they were like 2-10, and it was just I don't know what the game was, composition wise or whatever the case may be. Uh, we didn't play at all like a cohesive unit. I think we capped one, and that was just because I think the other team was literally just messing around.
Mhm. Okay,
But
okay.
in those situations, I always try to like duel the tank or see how the tank is playing before I make that conscious decision where I'm getting outplayed, and it's not because um it's because of the situation that I'm in. Like I know that this Zarya is okay. She's bubbling well. She's using her CDs when she needs to, rather than just like because I've seen that where will they'll come out as Rhine on I don't know, let's say whatever push map or like monastery, and they're having a hard time with point one. We're holding high ground. Their Rhine will he'll go to attempt on the left side high ground, and all we have to do is rotate. And now he's not really doing anything. And then they'll come out
Mhm.
as Zarya. Their brain's saying, "Okay, Zarya counters Diva. I'm still going to give a fight or two just to see how well they are at that hero."
Mhm, mhm.
It's not going to be anything where I say, "Oh my gosh, it's my counter. I better swap." I'll
Yeah,
always
I
play it out
understand.
just to see
Okay.
if I can get value from that.
Yeah, this is good mentality, I think. Yeah, definitely watching what you can do with your own performance. But then also, yeah, you just can kind of go with this tool, which can allow you to pick a certain character, yeah, right away, pick a certain character which could give you a little bit more value, just in case. Yeah, there are a few concepts. I can explain those quickly, and then
Sure.
maybe those are going to be useful, can use them later, probably at least 1 2 ideas from there. And I think after that, we can go over one of the concepts. Yeah, first of all, see how the progress is. Well, definitely, if you're saying the scouting, well, there's been great progress. I just check mark this, and maybe there's something else you can pay attention to as well. We'll see. But yeah, maybe is there anything in specific you tend to struggle with at the moment? What's your
Well,
thoughts?
I guess like I said, it's just kind of fighting that like I don't know if it's like the dopamine hit where I have like, okay, that guy's out of position. I'll be able to see like, okay, they drop both supports, and then I want to rush someone who's out of position. Like my brain, I'll just go, like,
Mm,
or like we get a pick on the tank and a DPS, and I see an Ana in the corner. I just go, and I'm not I do not have the presence of mind to kind of like I get that tunnel vision again because yeah, I know I can kill her, but at the same time, I'm not taking the time to like look around.
mm,
And that's what
okay.
I would say is what I really need to get good at is um understanding, can we go? Should we go? What, as opposed to, because it's just one of those games where so much information's given and you have to
Right.
make an instinctual and an instant decision on what to do, and that's very hard sometimes.
Right. Right.
I would
Mm-hmm.
say with feel, that's where I feel like I've gotten a lot better at, but it isn't quite like 100% where I'd like it to be at,
Yeah, you
and
still
that's
you continue. Hmm.
right, and that's I think my ultimate goal, and
Hmm.
I think that's where people higher elos they have that to their game sense is a lot more heightened that way. And I think, unfortunately, that is due to just practice and repetition, which is the one thing that I sorely lack. So it's trying to maximize the value of the time I have, but then also understand. I mean, yeah, I feel a lot better when I'm like, wow, now I'm Plat 2. You know, it was a struggle to get to Plat 5, and now here I am
Right.
coasting at Plat 2. And, you know, for me, I don't want to lose that. So, I mean, I think it's a mentality that I have to learn how to come in, say, hey, you know what, my SR is what my SR is. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to win
Mhm,
every game, but at the same time, am I
mhm,
sacrificing, uh, you know, get a I guess what I'm trying to say is get a whole understanding and a mental attitude of what I'm trying to accomplish. Am I trying to get better? Am I trying to gain SR or something like that? And then how can I compact that into the limited time that I have? That
right.
would be
Mhm,
my ultimate goal, and that's what I struggle with,
mhm,
is that, you know, it's an emotional roller coaster where you're up, you're down. You're like, I played great that game. Yeah, I get the SR. And then you're like, oh man,
mhm,
I
right.
lost this game. I feel like I played like crap, but at the end of the day, what am I learning? I don't know. You know, I
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
that's what I want to be able to come away from. It's like, hey, you know, that game, my last game, I wasn't doing this. Maybe I should really focus on that next time. I feel like I'm lacking that.
Mhm, mhm. So to start with, maybe first of all, when you look to apply all the advice which I gave you, yeah, how do you usually go about it? Just
I'm sorry.
all those concepts which I shared with you, yeah, before,
Hmm.
maybe our first session, maybe the next session on offline review. How you been looking to apply all that information? What you been doing with that information exactly?
Well, I think I tried to you know, it's really hard. And I don't necessarily bring all of it to the table because every game's different. So it's just trying to like really understand, like let's say I'm playing Zarya and really trying to understand when I need to bubble. And then kind of going away from that and I'm consciously looking at, okay, you know, did I gain value from the bubble? And how my indicators are, did it save my life? Did I get charge? And it's just kind of like an instant check. You know, I mean, I want to gain charge or I want to save my life or I want to save somebody else's life.
Sure, sure. Hmm.
And if none of those boxes are checked, it's just kind of like, all right, that was bad. As opposed to what else I can do. I mean, I don't really, I can't say that I bring a lot of what you said to what I've done, I guess. And maybe that's just a lack of timing. Maybe that's just a lack of time as well.
It might be. It might be. You will still can think about the efficiency of the practice, right? So maybe what you're describing there, by the way, was when you're looking at all these indicators, what good bubble is, right?
Hmm.
Mm, because there might be a lot of things to keep an eye on. Yeah, it might be, as you said, saving somebody's life. It might be saving your own life, and might be also blocking important cooldowns. Do you try to just look at it? Kind of understand if the bubble is good or not right in the game, or
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
I would say so. Yeah.
Okay, so see, like when you're doing that, okay, so maybe I just need the board for this. Okay, let's just put it this way. I'm gonna screen
Hmm.
share and we use the board, so it's gonna be easy to for us to see all our thoughts. Okay, give me 1 second. So here we're gonna be using this board. Okay, and we call it goal setting. Okay, I'm gonna just screen share in a second. Okay, let's do this. Okay, because there are a few problems with this. Okay. So first, when we doing this kind of stuff, I'm focusing on certain ideas here, like on if I'm using correct bubble, or maybe let's just call it, I'm focusing on X concept, yeah. Uh,
Hmm.
am I just how I'm doing? Yeah, like what I'm. I guess let's put it this way: good, bad. Yeah, like question mark. That's what you do in the game. It seems like
Hmm.
okay. The problem now is that we can potentially find a lot of problems with the bubble. That's one. Okay, so
Hmm.
what it leads to. Okay, a lot of concepts you can spot, or like problems. No, let's name it problems. Even problems you can spot, and there's actually another thing, such as you might find a lot of it might be difficult for you to think about winning the next fight as well. It's just because
Hmm.
you're doing all of this, you're not exactly putting an effort towards oh, what to do in the game. So just yeah, let's say hard to know what uh, to do for the next fight. Yeah, this is, I think, two main problems. Those are two main problems I have with that. Mm, it might be just not as effective. So a lot of problems to spot. Okay, how can you fix that? Well, you have to break it down, right? So you
Hmm.
cannot focus on too many problems, because then you look into autopilot, you might there's a high chance it's just going to be difficult for you to just play the game, I think. So if this is the problem, okay, maybe there are a lot of problems to spot, then what can you do about it? Yeah, let's just try to break it down. What can you do to make it easier for you to just break this information down? Yeah, is there anything you can do?
Well, I mean, obviously, like, let's just, I mean, there's many scenarios. Let's say I use a bad bubble, and then they're doing a good job of CD tracking, and so I get killed in this fight.
Hmm.
Now I go to spawn. I have a good idea to see where my team's at.
Hmm.
I can go through the team cam, and then I can see, like, was I in position? Was I out of position? Why was I using those bubbles to begin with? What value did I have? And then it's just kind of like a reset to, okay, so I didn't get any value. All right,
Hmm.
let's reset. Let's make sure that I have, a good system to work by. Um, like I mentioned before, uh, I guess my mentality when
Hmm.
I'm playing Zarya is make them earn my bubbles.
Yeah, that's
So,
good.
um, and what I mean by that is, make sure I'm just not going out there and bubbling just because, Akira goes throwing kunais at me from across the map and I get hit once. I'm not going to just throw up my bubble too. But also, too, just remember that they are very important to me and my team, and it will determine whether or not we win the game.
Yeah, yeah, sure. But so see, I guess because you can earn the bubble, right? They can earn the bubble. They should do that, and there are multiple things to do that, right? It's just
Mhm.
because while you're in the game, if you're trying to think about all of that, is just might become really difficult, and that's where you might actually get into this more tunnel vision mindset as well, to
Okay.
me, because it's just you're gonna be exactly trying to because there are too many ideas, your working memory is really busy. That's what I'm afraid of, because no top
Yeah.
500 players they don't have that much stuff in the to think about, because
Sure.
if they
Sure.
if they would, they would just kind of, it would be really difficult for them to play, and you definitely also also the one who have a lot of responsibilities in real life as well. So your working memory sometimes also keeps all of that in the background too. So you definitely need to think how to break this down a little bit more. Yeah, maybe what I usually suggest, yeah, starting with your solution to maybe something like, okay, so maybe we just move this. Okay, so a lot of problems to spot. Well, maybe possibility to just, when you go in the game, you just want to be
Hmm.
focusing on one goal. Yeah, just focus on one specific, or like specific idea. Okay. So
Okay.
instead of saying like, okay, make them earn my bubbles, where it's a little bit too general, maybe you can break it
Sure.
down and think, what are those ideas about earning the bubble? Well, maybe I can be focusing on timing. Maybe I can be focusing on who do I bubble. Yeah, maybe I focus on just, I don't know, something like, maybe there's something else as well, how you use cover. Yeah, so your bubble's not getting forced. There should be
Hmm.
constantly one idea, I think. And this is enough, because your working memory otherwise gonna be overwhelmed. This is really important. So this is one, doing the game one idea at a time.
Hmm.
And this is where you can just definitely think, later you can think about, are you doing the certain idea better or not. But I really want you to potentially avoid focusing on uh, if you're doing something good or bad during the game, because it's not helping you to solve what to do in the next fight a lot of times.
Sure.
Your goals, okay, so it's just like overall, let's call it like goal specifics. Yeah, so this idea here, first one, it should be simple. Okay. Another thing, your goal should be proactive. So you should be saying, "Oh, what do I do? What to do next?" Instead of what I could have done, or yeah, mostly a lot of players tend to think, yeah, what they could have done before. It's
Sure.
really
Sure.
hard. Okay. I definitely think you can. You can think about what you could have done, but it's just the during the game, it's not the most effective. You have to be in the present, right? But when can you actually think about should you be could you be using better bubble? Could it be maybe using better cover? Yeah, what's your thoughts? When could you be doing that instead of doing it in the game?
After the game.
Mm, yeah, yeah. I think
I
this is
mean,
better. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I was gonna say after the game. I mean, when everything, is done, I can do a review of how I felt. Um, and I mean, I don't know. I guess, and that's also the lack of knowledge and accomplishment in this game. So there'll be games where, for instance, like let's just say for Diva, like okay, I had 4 DMX, I died twice. I felt like I played good. Um,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
are there things I could have done better? Absolutely. But I would say there are games where I feel like I know I did well. I did my job as opposed to, you know, we didn't have and I don't know, maybe it seems like I don't want to sound self-absorbed or anything, but like there'll be games where we lose where I feel like I really did all I could.
That can
And
happen. That can happen. Yep.
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
If you get those games, or
Hmm.
it's okay. It's definitely fine. You know, they're gonna be on kind of this percentage statistics. It's gonna be 33% games where you win no matter what, 33% where you
Sure.
lose no matter what, and then other 33% you just you the one who makes the difference. Let's put it this way.
Right.
So yeah.
And I mean, it's a very, very difficult line to toe because I don't want to end up with the mentality of like, well, you know, every game, then I feel like I played my best and it was somebody else's fault.
course not. Yeah, of
you
course
know?
not. You don't want to do that. You definitely have to see. Well, it's also about the effectiveness of your self review. Well, I wouldn't definitely pay too much attention to just, especially in your case, because you have limited time to self review all games. But if we maintain this idea of I'm focusing on one specific idea during the game, and then after some games you want to see how you're doing, that is okay. Yeah, so it's just kind of self reviews. Maybe I should suggest two reviews. Just two reviews is enough. And it's for the week. Yeah, for the week, and you spend on
Sure.
it around just maybe 20-15 minutes. That's good enough. Yeah, let's say you've been working on one specific idea for quite some time. You're doing your week. Well, just pick some games. Yeah, save the codes, maybe 2-3 codes, maybe that's enough, and then spend 20 minutes and see how you're doing at that specific idea. That's how you eventually get the habit. Yeah, it's how you're gonna be better at anything. It can be scouting, it can be your just overall awareness, game sense, all of that. You can build this up. It's fine. Yeah.
Okay, so
Right.
let me ask you, with these VOD review, any specifics I should be looking at? I mean, is it any random game, or is it a game maybe I felt like I underperformed, or maybe it's a game where I felt like, man, I really did what I was supposed to do?
Hmm.
I mean, where
Yeah.
should I be looking at these VOD reviews? Does it matter if it was a win or a loss, or
Usually, I always say close game where you played your best. So I'm just gonna write
okay?
it down. Yeah, close game where you played the best. Just review those and see.
Mhm.
Am I doing better at this one specific idea during the game? Okay, actually, this I would elaborate on that later. I'm just writing down like simple, because for now I think this is enough. Maybe like make sure you focus on during the game. Yeah, one specific detail, one specific idea. That's enough. But let's say it's not
Okay,
gonna work. We can also discuss something in addition, some other strategies, what could help you to just break this down. Yeah, because the problem is there are a lot of
sure.
problems. It's difficult for your working memory. Okay, one idea at a time. Maybe just some suggestions.
Yeah,
Use
please.
you. Yeah.
If you have some specific ideas that you think that would be beneficial, I'd love to know rather than what I think the game is. I mean,
Sure,
you
sure, sure.
know, I don't want to be sitting there like, am I getting to this corner quicker or something? I mean, it's something that could be completely irrelevant as opposed to what
Of
you
course.
think that would be.
No, of course. You still can use our previous notes, right? Right.
Hmm.
But even today, I think we're gonna have some time to just go over the game, right? Just kind of see what we can do with those specific ideas. One big suggestion. So I'm just gonna draw an arrow. I think definitely keep an eye on your notes. Maybe use your sticky notes or something. Maybe use just let's say like notes. Yeah. Um,
Hmm.
you write down what you're working on during your session, because
Okay,
otherwise it's gonna be, again, you're gonna have multiple thoughts in your head. I
sure.
can be doing this and that. So just simplify. uh yeah, just let's say write down, um write down what you are working on. Yeah, let's say that. And you maybe can also use your, again, your own notes, maybe any piece of paper should be fine.
Sure.
mm,
Just a visual reminder that
exactly.
keeps me kind
Yeah.
of focused. Okay.
I even suggest for some players use sticky notes or something. You can just put them
Yeah,
on your
absolutely.
wall, maybe second monitor. That's also fine. I actually been using those quite a lot. I have those notes right in front of me sometimes. I also have the board, so it just helps me to like remind myself what am I doing. Maybe even now, like when I'm working with you, I'm just potentially can remind myself what is that weak spot I have and just work on that. you know
Sure.
it's good, I think. Write down what you're working on. Another thing. Okay. Well, do you want to elaborate on that actually, like this one, notes and such? We can spend some time
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I
if you
think
want. Yeah. I,
no, that's a wonderful idea that I think I could easily apply.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just
Um,
thinking there's another strategy as well. Like how can you go about using all these ideas? So
mhm.
instead of just focusing on one, doing. the entire game session, it might be difficult for you to maintain the attention. Imagine you
Sure.
sit on. Mhm.
Just you could break it down to, um, let's say, let's say a push map, attack and defend, or you could say like after a team kill, specific timing where the game's going to notify me of something. Um, just get that so it's automatic. Turn
Mm.
around, see where everybody's at, just so it just becomes a habit, and then you develop that habit, and then next time it's after a pick or something like that. Just gradually progress into having that where you have the game that'll tell you something, and then you go to, okay, this is my time to do that. And then once I feel like I have that in a locked, it's recall memory where I'm automatically doing that, then it's time to go to a different, okay, so whatever the case may be,
Mm.
it's not necessarily
Right.
like when you say a specific idea during the game, rather than sitting there looking at my pasty note, constantly reminding me, because what that's going to do is take away focus on really what's at hand. But if I can use
Mhm.
a specific instance where, hey, the game's going to tell you this, you know, obviously if I'm dueling someone, I'm not going to turn around and say, hey, where's my team? But you can get it to where when something happens, okay, I can look at, oh yeah, okay, I have to remember how to do that. Yep, did I do that? No, I didn't. Okay, well, next time, let's try that again.
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
That's what I would think,
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. And there's well, it's all right. Just be careful with like when you try to again figure this out in the game. Try to avoid that. Maybe instead of saying like okay, um maybe simplify to like I go in the game. Okay, I have the specific goal idea to
Hmm.
work on. Well, it can be using bubbles on anybody who is critical. Simple, good enough. I just bubble, and that's it. That's the and at the end of the game, you can ask yourself a question. Like, am I doing better at this? Yeah, and you don't need to think about anything else. Yeah, really important. Yeah, we only self review. Yeah, because we need to be proactive. We need to think about what to do next. You always like the next question is, who do I bubble and when? Yeah, when do they critical? Yeah, okay, bubble.
Hmm.
When is that is happening? And that's it. No other questions, no other questions about anything, just this one specific idea during the game. And I suggest to do this even if you like to keep your attention. Okay, I'm just gonna
Hmm.
write it down here. There's something what's called, you probably know that, but it's just something what you can use it into read practice. So instead of just focusing on one idea for really long period of time, let's say I'm saying I'll focus on using bubble on critical person really long time. Well, eventually what's gonna happen is your attention is gonna drop, because it's the same as sitting on read a long lecture. Your attention might be it might be dropping at some point later, even though it's really interesting to you. It's difficult for our brain
Sure.
to maintain the focus for a long period of time. So maybe what you can do, use this idea of interleave practice. So what am I doing with this is imagine let me use different color. Okay, imagine here each box it's gonna represent one specific idea, yeah, one specific concept I'm working on.
Okay.
Yeah, what I can do is try to interleave my goals. So yes, I need to focus on one specific idea during the game, but I can just pick 3 for my game session and kind of go from one idea to another during my gameplay. Just during
Hmm.
during your game session. So how it works like is each box is gonna represent your one round. So this is one round here, this is one round here, this is one round here, and then later you repeat the cycle and move to X, Y, Z again, and then you repeat that one more time. Okay.
Okay.
So it's just, again, one idea, but I'm not really stuck on this idea for the entire day. I try to interleave it between the other ideas, but I'm doing it in a smart way. I'm just trying to go from one concept to another each round. And I think it's going to be enough. A lot of times it's going to be
No,
easy.
yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a lot more digestible and it keeps things like you said. I mean, I can definitely see where and it's funny that you said that because it reminds me of university when you're oh
Right.
man, I really like this class, but I'm having a hard time staying awake. Oh man.
Exactly. Exactly. So let's say for us simple, yeah, focus on one idea during the game, but before that, yeah, we
Hmm.
pick three goals for game session. Okay, so it's gonna be simple, and you can write it down on your notes. Yeah, write down what you're working on. That's okay. That's definitely fine. But try to interleave it so you keep your attention high. So you switch between
Hmm.
the ideas. Attention is high, and you also gonna be benefiting for You're gonna be putting everything you learn to your memory as well. It's gonna be easier for you to remember because you constantly going back to previous concepts. It's not like you applied something and you forgot it forever. It's gonna be much better if you're doing it this way. And well, how long you do
Okay,
this? Yeah, how long you do all this interleave practice is just until you feel better overall. You feel better just
sure.
at applying those ideas, and then you can replace those with something else. But again, during the game, one idea at a time, really important.
Absolutely.
Right.
So, I mean, like with your coaching, I mean, what are your theories of the game? I mean, I think that everybody can say, like positioning, corners, cooldowns. Where do you think I should start, and then where do you think? I mean, because I don't want to get into macro quite yet,
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
the ebb and
Hmm.
flow of games. I mean, it's something that's already instilled in me because I've been playing the game so long. So, like, okay, cooldown tracking and everything like that. But at the same time, am I forgetting basics that I should be uh, I think sometimes it's hubris where I say, yeah, man, I played this game for so long. I know what's happening. And then next thing you know, it's like, oh my gosh, my plan just completely blew up because here I am thinking, yeah, I know what's going on. And next thing you know, it's like, oh, I forgot the basics. I
It's
completely trolled.
it's okay. Like, again, when you're doing something, yeah, you're implementing the habit. So especially you're gonna
Hmm.
be working on one specific idea during the game. It might be okay to not pay attention to other stuff like as much. Let's put it this way: you will notice how you actually might be doing not as good at the basics, yeah, at your previous basics.
Right.
But it's okay because you just put in so much effort into building that habit, and it's fine. Yeah, eventually you get better at that habit, and it's not like you're gonna forget those basics because they're already in your learns your memory. It's just now you cannot implement them right in the game because there's so much effort for you to apply. Your working memory is really busy with whatever X concept or Y concept or Z. It just doesn't matter what, but
Sure.
it's fine. So don't be like, yeah, because definitely there's some players, they tend to like think, okay, I'm applying this and that, but I forget this, and then they start to thinking about everything at once, and that's why you get
Hmm.
in this trap of my working memory is overwhelmed, I don't know what to do, tunnel vision, and guess what, you just chase the
Battery
Ana enemy
critical.
Ana um for the entire time. Yeah, you just chase the enemy on for whatever for really really far, and not looking at your team, for example.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just how to break the autopilot. Yeah, whenever you notice you have the problems with, I think, the autopilot, just tunnel vision. The big thing is goal setting. Am I breaking it down enough? So basically this, yeah. A lot of problems to spot. Yeah, I need to minimize.
Yeah.
Need to break it down. Hard to know what to do next for the next fight. Well, goal setting. Yeah, what am I working on? I'm working on XYZ. I have it right on my monitor. Easy for me to solve, right?
Yeah.
Again, one goal at a
Um,
time. Hmm.
how would you suggest about like just, you know, I mean, this is going to be one of those things where it's going to be hard to like, just, yeah, I want to hit diamond, and then after that, I want to hit masters. But how would you go about just keeping a mental fortitude or keeping strong mental where you're like, okay, I'm going in with this specific goal.
Right.
Obviously, you mentioned in our first session, just turn off chat, which I think about
Right.
after the first game I did. Because, like I said, that Briggs feeding and this guy's yelling at me, like, you need to get off diva. And I'm like, oh, okay, yep. So I just immediately exit chat after that.
Right, right. And you can
Um,
remind yourself about the goals as well because you have them right in front of you. What am I doing in this game, right? So it's a win for you no
mhm,
matter what, right?
sure.
you know. Um.
Well, I mean, I have to
Mhm,
focus. It can turn detrimental, though. I mean, like if I go there and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try to do this, and then I lose focus of that, and then also lose. I think that's where I can get tilted rather quickly.
mhm, mhm,
You can say, hey, I'm gonna go in with bubble, yada yada yada. I totally forget about that. I'm losing focus because I'm trying to do one thing. You know, I feel like you're like, well, that was just a waste of time. Dang it, I didn't accomplish anything, and I didn't get my goal. I lost SR. This is stupid. Blah blah blah.
mhm.
How do you feel like? What's a
To
good method of
uh
like just resetting? Maybe walk
resetting.
away from the game for 10 minutes or something like that.
Mhm.
Go touch grass and
Well, this
come
is
back.
let's okay. So this is good. This is good. Okay, I'm just gonna name it increase our focus. Okay, so it's just we don't lose focus, so like we don't get tilted. Well,
Hmm.
definitely the one positive goal setting is just what I'm choosing to work on, so I get positive outcome no matter what. It can be even you saying I'm gonna spawn camp this guy 24/7. That can be positive goal. You can always do that. It can be I'm having fun. It can be again. This is more consistent. XYZ. Yeah. So just
Sure.
like work on XYZ. How do you deal with the situations when the tilt happens when maybe somebody still tells you something, right? But then you kind of get into this mode, yeah, because your brain responds automatically, right? It's hard to change the
Mhm.
settings. Well, first of all, it's about repetition. It's about repetition, reminding yourself, well, what am I doing in this game? Telling your brain what do you choose to think about instead of just trying to get caught in this bad kind of let's say like your usual pattern. Yeah, I'm trying to break it down instead and trying to see where can I go, where can lead my thoughts to, so it makes it easy for me because it's always, even in psychology they tell you thought uh after you face certain fact, you get certain thought, and then you get certain feeling, and then you get certain action, you do certain actions. So this is how it works. You just want to kind of break it down and think, what is that thought I'm choosing to think? Yeah, what I'm choosing to think about the situation, and focus on that with your actions. Yeah, like, and feeling supports all of that as well. So I can be just, I'm doing this XYZ. Yeah, reminder, constant reminder. I maybe suggest even do this kind of uh, make sure you do certain routine to help you to just remind yourself what to work on, or like what, let's say, even what your goals are before your game session. Okay, you can also do it before each game, before the game, even round, yeah, and so on, so on. So this is the one.
Mhm.
So you can kind of eventually get into this more helpful pattern. That's this way, yeah. It's because it makes
Yeah.
it again. It's a habit. The way we respond to what the humans tell you, it's a habit. I think it's just you can break it down by trying to try to focus. Um, try to focus on solving this problem. Yeah, eventually you're gonna do it. So it's time. Another thing, just basic one. When I'm in a game, because whatever you do, your body also responds to all of these
Mhm.
situations. You might do just I suggest do this what's I call lazy breathing, because you're in the match, you don't have time to do all of these methods. Maybe go think about just like the psychologists that tell you, yeah, they have this sort of therapy. You accomplish your emotions, thoughts. It's hard to do in the game, right? It's really fast paced, so
Mhm. Oh
maybe
yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
well, you can do that technically really fast, but still the game is really fast paced. So what do I do? Well, a lazy breathing and just I mean, whenever something happens, I take a deep breath, and it's the laziest one I can take, and then I exhale as well, and just repeat it. Yeah, do that 3 times. For example, it helps to calm your nerves because, well, whenever you tilt it or something, you can notice your heart rate is gonna be increased. So with this, we're
Mhm.
decreasing it. So it's just you influencing your body sort of with all this breathing techniques. Well, that's why there's meditation. Yeah, it exists as well. Kind of
Mhm.
calms you, something like that. Yeah, I think it's helpful during the game, at least. So reminders, breathing, positive goal setting. Again, it's before the game session. Other stuff, just basic, is just what comes to mind. Sleep.
Sure. Yep.
Also, again, you need to stay hydrated. Yeah, water, food, all of that. It
Yep.
could be help. Is there anything else you think can increase your focus during the
To
game?
increase focus, well, I think I also need to identify what the purpose of the game is for me right now at the moment.
Mm,
Is it to blow off steam? Am I using it as an escape? Like, why am I playing the game? I think should be uh, acknowledged. Am I playing it just to get out of my own head? Am I playing
mhm,
to improve? Am I playing it to, whatever the case may be? I think it is a game and I enjoy it. It's my favorite thing. I love this game. Um, but there's
mm,
different times that I play it. It gives me a certain, you know, feeling, I guess you could say. Um, Whether I'm stressed, I just want to leave whatever is on my brain out and I just want to go and I want to focus on the game. I think that can be beneficial, but at the same time, if I'm already taxed with
mhm,
something, if something's already heavy, it's going to be very hard for me to go into the game with, all right, here are my goals. I'm going to work because now it seems like I'm transferring one thing to another. It's like,
mhm.
all right, you're already stressed. Now you're going to bring that stress into here
Mm,
and it's going
exactly.
to, I'm trying to work on this, dang it, and it's not working. I think identifying what the game is at that time and then kind of playing like that, you know, what it's here for. Like today, I wake up, I love Sundays because I can completely focus on playing. I want to be the
Exactly.
best that I
Mm.
can. I got a wonderful night's sleep. I don't have anything to do today. All right, I can really, really focus on today's session as opposed to, I just got off a 12-hour shift. I just want to veg, you know, w- just turn off my brain. Is competitive really going to be the best idea for me? Maybe I should play quick
Mhm.
play, or maybe I should play arcade because I'm using the game as a different method of what the game should be. It wouldn't make any sense for someone that plays a sport professionally to go out and tax themselves by a normal day. Like, all right, I'm going to go have to put in an 8-hour shift at whatever and then go and play an NBA game later that night.
Right.
I doubt that there's anybody that does that.
Exactly. See, what you describe me there, it's really identifying maybe as well. Am I actively practicing working on XYZ idea? And it's probably gonna be stressful, right? It's just like in this NBA game, right? It's just so tough, right? It's just it takes a lot of effort, right? So it's either you do this or you're having fun. You have to recognize, I think you're definitely right. Is that a method for me to just feel okay, like I'm having fun, okay? But then what that means for you, how do you have fun? It's probably not by just working on XYZ, and it's okay, by the way, it's okay to play the game and not work on something, but just have fun, because you definitely, well, the games are, first of all, should be fun, I think, and maybe you're having fun with your friends, maybe you have fun with certain group. That is okay. That is okay thing to do. But then the other time you can invest into active practice, and that is where you try really hard. You just like, and again, in tournament, in any sports, you do something active for a short period of time. Maybe you run, or maybe you play football. Yeah, it's not like they're gonna just really again do the same later. Yeah, they're probably gonna have, well, just to set their mindsets, think okay, what they can do to just have fun and feel more calm. Yeah, they cannot be under stress all the time. And same thing about you. You need to understand what are we getting out of our game session. Yeah, active practice or having fun. Yeah, this is important too. Positive goal setting, well, I mentioned this, is just what I'm getting you, something helpful to get about my game session. This is where, again, all of this connected. Yeah, like this and this, active practice, having fun. Yeah, what is more helpful for me now, active practice, yeah, or I'm just focusing on fun? That's completely fine. And you also mentioned before about how you need to touch some maybe touch some grass or something. Breaks are
Yep.
important, I think. I suggest when you're taking breaks, well, breaks, okay, let's say you might take those every hour or so, depending again on how focused you can stay, because I always suggest to play when you can stay highly focused. You don't want to play when you feel, again, under stress, like I mentioned. You had a lot of work. Well, the games, if you put in an effort into practicing the game as well, I think in terms of just getting better at the concepts, might be difficult to do it on the same day. It's not like you cannot do that, but just something to
Sure.
keep in
It's
mind. Yeah.
not like yeah, like I said, the having fun, I think, is when you quote unquote turn off your brain.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like you can make a play and you can look, oh yeah, that's one of my goals and I did it. Good job.
Mhm.
As opposed to this is what I have to do, this is what I have to do, this is what I have to do.
Right, right. Right. Yeah. This is a good note, and yeah, just to finish with the breaks as well here. When we take in every hour, so well, this is helpful, but then you can also maybe be more disciplined, because for some players it tends to they tend to have this kind of again, not tunnel vision, but just they think whatever reason, if they keep playing, they might win eventually. It's like sitting in a casino or something. It feels like they sometimes people tell me, I just kept playing like 20 games in a row, I lost everything. I'm like, but did you take any break? They like, no, I didn't. But this is I think, if you be more disciplined about taking breaks, so maybe I can take breaks after 2-3 losses, for example. I think that can be quite helpful. So I'm not just playing all the time. Yeah, but I'm doing it for some period of time, and then I can do something else. I usually suggest when you take breaks. So it's first you can take 15 minutes, maybe 10, and do something in other space. Let's put it this way, because if you sit in
Sure.
front of your PC and just literally shaking and thinking about Overwatch or something, right? It's just you have this sort of anxiety. You think about this bad teammate or something. This is not helpful. I think you have to get out, do something else, maybe see if there's possibility for you to do something else. This is definitely
Okay.
good. Hmm.
So one thing I'm thinking is, how do I want to set my goals? So should I start like baseline all three XYZ? Can I progress to like let's say X? Let's just say am I using like walls and corners, and then why I can do something a little bit more macro. And then, I mean, how should I go about choosing what I want to focus on? Because every hero has a different kit.
Mhm.
Primarily, I'm going to go with Diva, then I'm going to go with Zarya. So, where and how should I address my goals? Do I want to start, like I said, all baseline stuff? Do I want to like feel like I have the fundamentals down? And then, or should I
Mhm.
mix it where maybe one is basic, two is a little bit more advanced, three is uh, the most advanced that I can think of? I mean, how do I want to go
Mm,
about
mm. The,
choosing these and then implementing them?
I think overall it should be kind of similar, like the goals should be kind of similar in terms of it shouldn't be like something advanced, something not advanced. It's just this is okay to start just like thinking, okay, equal goals. Yeah, what are three biggest problems I have problems with? And you already
Okay.
we kind of broke this down for us even in our first review. Yeah, I have the notes on scouting. So what do we got? We need to scout before the fight. We need to scout before applying pressure. You need to scout for your team. Yeah, there's the specifics. You can also keep an eye on. Yeah, you can. I actually had those kind of three questions for you there. It's been one is just mark number one was when to scout. The second one, what do you scout for? And the third one is where should you be once scouting? Okay, and each idea, yeah, from this list, when, what, when, and where, you can just pick one bullet point and focus on that. So maybe X can be I scout what? I just want to scout my team, okay, consistently. When I have, let's put it this way. Actually, okay, I'm just gonna make a note on that. So I'm just thinking, okay, maybe let's put it here. Yeah, let's put it here. So when you're answering the questions on XYZ on the goals, you usually want to go over three questions, I think. Okay, so it's what, when, where. It helps you to break this down a little bit more. Okay, so I'm just gonna go with those questions.
Okay.
So it can be I'm doing what? Scouting. Yeah, scouting for what? My team. When? When I'm behind the corner. Or no, let's say like when before the fight. Where? When I'm behind the corner. Okay, so
Okay.
something like that. It just helps again to digest and think. This one specific idea. How do I break it down and keep it simple enough? Of course, I'm saying
Yeah.
all of this like what am I where? Okay. Um, Scouting my team when behind the sorry, where when I'm behind the corner before the fight. Yeah, let's put it this way. So this is okay. Like once you understand, maybe you name this goal X or name this goal A. Yeah, you know what that means. You just keep working on that, and then maybe you move to something else. Something else. That's how I think you should do it. Break this down with questions. If you need to. And yeah, that's it. Don't overcomplicate. I think anything about XYZ. Just keep it
Sure.
simple. And those goals should be kind of equal. It's fine. Yeah, once you get better at those, you feel more automatic. You can move to something else. It's okay if you're not doing perfect at previous basics or something. It's not like you're gonna be doing that when you put in an effort. Again, it's really tough. It's just same as doing anything else. Yeah, maybe when I first started driving, it's been really tough for me to press all the things in the car. Maybe like also turn the wheel, look around. I can't do
Hmm.
that. Yeah, I can't do all of that. It's really hard. But what they did, yeah, this school sort of, they taught me, okay, you gotta turn the wheel this way, you gotta look around this way, yeah, and it's just step by step. And eventually, once you build the habit, you kind of put all this together, of course, but and you're able to do
Hmm.
that more automatically. Maybe they're not exactly using this this interleave practice or whatever, but now you can
Hmm.
actually break this down for you. You know how it works. Now I guess so. You can do it for yourself. Yeah, that does
Okay.
does all of it make sense?
Yeah, absolutely it does.
hmm
I guess when I'm setting up my goals, and I think like going over the notes that you have, this, what to work on: scouting enemies, corners, minimize hitbox, maximize hitbox.
hmm
Um, like, how do I choose what I mean, is it just like what I feel like I need to improve on, or
Oh yeah. Oh well, this is where I can help mostly. Obviously, like
okay, yeah.
yeah, that's why we have those sessions. I can definitely identify. I can tell you, of course, how do you understand what you have the problems with. To explain this real quick, to do
Mhm.
that, well, of course, again, like for me, it's easy. I just look at the gameplay and I probably tell you what is the biggest problem you have at this current level. But for you, it might be just you watch your games and then you kind of write down the mistakes and then you notice the biggest pattern you have, yeah, what the kind of mistakes you're making, and you pick that mistake, yeah, the most occurring mistake, and then you try to fix that. Yeah, this is how you do it. You just kind of do this sort of diagnosis. What am I doing wrong? Yeah, like, and you gotta pick certain theme probably as well to break this down. But yeah, if you like, we can go over that later. Just self review. This is another big topic, but yeah.
Sure.
Right.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
writing it down
definitely.
potentially, but yeah.
I mean,
Self
because I
review.
think that's where, you know, I can I can think that I need to identify on something, and then I could run that idea by you, and you're like, no, that really isn't going to improve nothing. Just do with my experience. I've seen this happen before. If you do this instead, that will significantly improve this,
Mm.
because it's unfortunate because, with any coaching, I've always had like someone there, whether it be sport or, whatever. When you're learning something, there's always someone present to correct you and then explain it. Whereas this, it's constantly, you're kind of on your own. And like I said, I could come up with XYZ, but is
Mm-hmm.
that going to be necessarily beneficial to me?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. That's why I'm gonna help you. Yeah, that's why.
perfect.
Yeah, of course. I'm not gonna. This is like all explanation. Yeah, it's good. But then we have our previous summaries. You definitely pay attention to those, right? Well, I'm just thinking. Oh, the most efficient. What we can do now? We have some minutes left. 20. Well, we can spend
And
some. Mhm.
I have to admit, this has just probably been a little bit more of a bizarre interaction. I hope that none of your other, other players or other people you coach aren't quite as sporadic as me. Like I said, I'm sure you have all walks of life, but like it's certainly a interesting situation that I'm in. Minimal time. I'm I don't have I have probably twice as much responsibilities as a lot of other people do, and it's just one of those things where I really really enjoy this game and I want to get
Mhm.
better at it, and that gives me satisfaction. But at the same time, I understand that I have certain variables that I can't control, and
Mhm.
what we've put down on today's piece of paper, those are easy and digestible, that I don't think that it'll be anything where I'll be like, this is terrible. I didn't feel any value out of this. I can see already it's going to be beneficial, and I trust that you know what you're doing, and it just seems it's easy. And how I want to get there, this looks like something I can easily do.
Nice.
It's
Nice.
just, yeah, yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's just finding out, hey, let's do this, let's do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But as far as what you constructed here, that's something I feel confident in.
Nice, perfect. Yeah, this is like those ideas. Yeah, so probably also rewatching this because I'm also recording this just in case you can watch the recording about all of this,
Hmm.
and also I'm gonna be putting all the screenshots. I will screenshot this and I will put it in our summary list. It's gonna be
Okay.
in tasks section, so it's gonna be right. It's gonna be like around here-ish. So this is our task section here, and then we
Okay.
move down. Yeah, this is gonna be in this section, and yeah, I think you can use those notes at any point of time. For now, though. So we have some time. Yeah, what do we wanna do? You wanna look at your gameplay a little, or
Sure. I mean, do you want a VOD review or
Yeah,
live game?
yeah. I think the what review is okay. Yeah, we can maybe using all those notes, we can kind of come up with some ideas. Just how do you can structure all this? Yeah, like to just show us what we can pick. Yeah, how do we pick goals? How do we practice this? I think this is really can be beneficial. Yeah, probably let's focus more on our previous ideas. Yeah, kind of elaborate on those, especially scouting, and yeah, then later we can talk about the other stuff. Yeah, because I had something in mind, like talking about corners, for example, maybe talking about just other again bubble
Okay.
management. But yeah.
Um, I can show you this. How do I get the code here? Oh no, it's not. Is it gonna let me generate a code?
I think it should be.
All right.
Should
Yeah,
be, yeah.
here is a good game. Replays reset after each patch. Oh no. That was nope. All right, so I
Oh, so it's
guess
not letting you?
no. So I'm gonna have to show you. I've got one that I won and I got one that I lost. I guess we're gonna have to show you the.
Hmm. Yeah, even
So wait.
any recent one. Yeah. Oh, actually, I think because we talked about when to play each character. Do you want to actually discuss that since we have
Sure,
limited
absolutely.
time? Yeah, maybe let's do that first. I think because yeah, it's just later with our next live session. Maybe let's talk about the more game specific
Okay.
things. Yeah. Okay. Let's just go over. But then yeah, just give me any game and we can go with that. I
Okay.
will show you a few examples.
Profile history replays. Um, here, let's. This was a good game for me. We ended up losing in overtime.
Yeah, let's take a look. All right, so yeah, for in-game ideas, just keep this list, which I mentioned before, especially on the scouting. Yeah, if it's the biggest problem still, keep an eye on this. What, when, and where I'm doing. Yeah, what, when, and where I'm scouting. This can be quite helpful, and for the a full character picking. Okay, they're just two ideas you can keep an eye on. Well, today's really
I'm nut butter. Yep.
yeah, today's really seems like a lecture. Today's just no gameplay at all, just lecture. But yeah, hopefully it's
No,
gonna be useful.
that's totally fine. I mean, sometimes, hey, it's gonna help me out. I really don't care.
Yeah, it's definitely
It's
helpful. Yeah, should be
it
motive.
isn't about you watching me play. It's about, hey, am I? It's the mentality.
Of
Is this
course.
fun time or is this practice time? So
Yeah, exactly. I think this is the most important. Okay. So starting with how to adapt the characters. Well, you have two, Zaur and Diva. I think one of the big things to look for is your composition, just understanding the direction of what your comp does. And I usually suggest this. So, okay, when I go for team composition, there are three different types of team compositions. Kind of mainly, yes, three main directions. The first one
yep,
is brawl.
brawl,
The second
poke,
one,
and dive.
and dive. Exactly. Yeah, you know all of that. Okay.
Yep.
How do you win with brawl?
How do you win with brawl?
Yeah, let's maybe okay. Let's specify. Just
Speed,
think about the range. At what range you like to play?
close,
Close. Okay. Brawl likes to play close fights. Okay, so it's just close range. What about the poke?
far away.
Yeah, far away, long range.
Yep.
And dive, well, dive, it's definitely you want to get closer, right?
Yeah, but that's like intermittent because you go from long to close.
Exactly. Yes.
It's that's more based off timing.
Yeah, exactly. You're totally right. So this here, it's just kind of the main trait of the dive with just mobility. We're able to go from far range to close really fast, and I think this is beneficial. This is what you need to know about all
Right.
of this to simplify. Okay, So tinker position, you need to identify the main direction of your comp to pick the comfort hero. Okay, that is the one. Why we do that? Because whenever you have certain direction, now you're most likely gonna know that the rest of your core they're gonna follow up on your pressure. Yeah, let's say maybe my team here. Well, what is that main direction you're going with? You think is a poke, brawl, or
Oh,
dive?
I mean, I would say you would probably. I wouldn't say brawl at all.
Well,
My Cass
definitely not.
or Free, Zen, all of those are going to be mid to long range. They'll be fine. You don't want to get real close with McCree or Zen. Soldier has the ability to run, so I mean he can probably avoid. But I would say number one, map control.
This is different. Don't
Or I
don't look at
guess
it.
with the team comp, I
Yeah,
mean I
team
would
comp.
say right now we're set up for poke.
Yes, exactly. That's how you think. Yeah, because every time you're gonna be in competitive, most likely the team you're gonna have it's different. You're gonna have some sort of hybrid team composition, and that's completely fine. You just want to identify the main direction. That's first. And because you see, there's a poke direction, what kind of hero suits that more, that is first, okay? But then the second thing is what the type of map I'm playing at. And mainly,
Right.
I usually like to break it down on short maps, long range maps, and maps with a lot of high ground control, verticality in a way. This is how I view it. Of course, you can also break it down even more in depth, but it's just I think easier to understand the main directions with the maps. Yeah, like for example here, if you look at this map, what this map is more about, short sightline, long sightline, or maybe a lot of high ground control. What do you think?
I've always known this as a 3D map. So you want to play high ground.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's more about high gun control. It's not like you don't have open sightline. You definitely do. Yeah, there's a good sightline for Widowmakers. They do take those kind of long range angles, but there's just so many high grounds for you to control where the payload is moving. So this is how you identify what this map is more about. If you notice, this entire time the payload is moving, there's just plenty of high grounds around it. Well, this map is more about high grounds. So if there are plenty of short range spaces, maybe something like Legion Control Center, you have a lot of short range spaces, you definitely know that this map is more short range. And this is how you decide what character to pick. You just do it based on the map and team composition. Team composition, that is something you prioritize first. Usually, I think, because it's bigger. I think, in my opinion, it's bigger resource. But yeah, it's just, let's put it this way: team composition matters more and more the higher you go. The map, it always kind of on default, it's like provides big value. Yeah. So let's say I'm really low rank. Well, I definitely would prioritize the map more over team composition. At your level, you're the Plat 2 currently. Team composition gonna matter slightly more compared to the map. So yeah, you just look at what is direction you're going with, and then pick the character based on that, and look at the map as well. So a lot of high gun control, poke with Zarya and Diva. Yeah, Diva I think is suitable just because you can always fly in, fly out, and kind of contribute on what they are doing and move between the high grounds. While yeah, just you also have more poke potential, in my opinion, as well on Diva, just because of the rockets. Maybe you can kind of go in and out as well, obviously. But yeah, that's what I think.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Your theory, when we're playing a push map, let's say obviously Gibraltar, how do I want to open up the map? I feel like since we're on defense, I have this mentality where I want to set a line, and
Can do that. Yeah.
so let's just say right now, our McCree, he is in the open. He's taking shots immediately. Do I want to set up like a sneak attack because I'm using Diva and one of her best things is burst? And so can I sit like you can kind of see the opening of that bridge. Do I want to sit up there? let's say somebody jumps up there and I can micro missile them. I mean, how do I want to establish this opening? How would you
Yeah, I
say?
see. I see. Yeah, yeah. So you're asking about the in-game specifics. Well, this is when you hear, you definitely can do this sort of thing you told me about the line. Yeah, you can
Hmm.
identify. Okay, where my team is fighting, and then you want to set up the best corner possible, so you're gonna absorb the initial attention of the enemy team while when they're gonna cross this line. Yeah. So what I
Hmm.
want to do, I think, most likely here, one idea is you as a diva, you're pretty mobile. Okay, so if I have this line, okay, that means I'm probably fighting for this space. Yeah, let's call it the
Hmm.
red
Yep.
space. Okay, what I want to be doing is to have almost an instant opportunity for me to do something with my pressure in this red space, because I um I'm tank. Yeah, I need to initiate. Yeah, just in case. Okay, so where should you
Okay.
position to like absorb to start attacking this red area potentially? What are your options?
Well, since I am a shotgun hero, I mean, my only long distance, if best, is my micro missiles. And if I try to do that in a distance, that's not going to be
Definitely
anywhere near.
not.
So I would say, like, right in the doorway of that bridge.
Right there.
That way,
Hmm.
yeah.
Good.
If someone
Yep.
tries to enter that, I can.
Can always escape or fight. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Exactly. And this is a good thought process. Yeah, you go about it just like that. Identify what you're strong at. You use a diva who can comfortably fly in this space. That's fine. You have short range, completely fine as well. I could even do this. Okay, this is even what I usually suggest my students do at the start. They be more patient with their, especially initial phase, because there's a big
Hmm.
tendency. If I play it, hey, some players they just shoot for no reason. You don't have to. You only shoot actively. Yeah, let's put it this way. You invest most of your
Right.
resources actively when enemy enters the red space. Yeah, so that
Exactly.
that's why, yeah,
Yeah.
for this to understand this, I can be more sneaky sometimes, and setting up a beat, that's what I would on your level maybe prioritize, because I still can attack, but it's just people they're not gonna notice me right at the start. I can kind of be more
Right.
bursty with my engagement. I would do that. There's an idea, we'll talk about that later, Zadiva. I wanna lean towards 180 angles more. So this is just if my team is here, position 1, I'm at the position 2. If I'm on the 180 angle, I'm turning the enemy's attention like a lot. And this is usually really nice, because the enemy have to move their crosshair quite a lot, and
Okay.
this is not
Okay.
helpful for them to it's gonna be hard to win the fight. Yep. But we will talk about that more as well. I'm just, today is like there's been a lot of theory in the mindset.
Sure.
If you want, actually, I can do an offline review just regarding any topics you want me to break down the angle control a bit more. I can do that.
Okay. Well, I
Um.
mean, it's a wonderful idea and a concept that you explained to me. Like, what is my purpose? My
Mhm,
purpose at that point, like, we'll call the red like what, a kill box, because I mean, there's multiple angles and they're on low ground.
mhm.
So we have that kill box. What is my purpose here? And that's a lot of the stuff that I know that I don't know about the game. Like you said, hey, become a distraction. I know I can absorb a lot of damage, but what is the purpose of that? Well, it's to move their
Right.
crosshairs and allow, like, our McCree to, uh, or Cassidy, I'm sorry,
That's okay.
uh, to be able to, you know, inflict damage, or a soldier to do
Hmm.
his job.
Hmm.
Rather than me sitting on the blue box waiting, waiting, waiting. Like now I'm a little bit more proactive with something, and it's like, you know, because what is it? Psychology would say the tanks are a tank for a reason, and they're big and they're chunky,
Of
and
course.
it's more satisfying shooting them because, it's an easier target to hit. So
Yep.
I'm gonna take the attention away from everybody else.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's definitely beneficial, and it's something that you can explain to me, and I can take that concept and I go, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that
Yeah.
makes perfect sense.
Exactly.
Rather than me
Mhm.
wasting time, like I'm gonna hold the blue box and no one's gonna take high ground from me, and
Mhm. Yeah. So do you let's kind of see what we can do for the next time then. Yeah, we can maybe use this